Hello, this is a guide on how to get or what to reforge all of your talismans to with the new Reforge update. I know this is late, but it was kind of confusing, or at least to me, because everything got nerfed and some things got heavily buffed. Right? And also what reforges are good for certain things. So right now, in the Reforge update, what you should have with your certain rarities is Forceful on any epic or legendary talismans. I don't have that many, but you see, this just from these 3 talismans is 35 strength, which translates to about 4,000 damage for me, which is really good. All rares, either on Forceful again, or Itchy. I went with Itchy because I was already getting a decent amount of crit or strength from these. And all the rares I put on Itchy because of the crit chance or crit damage, right? 211. It's pretty good. And then also uncommons, also Itchy, and commons really doesn't matter. But that's not all, because Dungeons is coming out in like 3-4 days, and Mage is the most overpowered kit or class right now. Like, it's not even close. You want intelligence. So I've been looking through it, and here there's the Bizarre Reforge, or like the Bizarre Reforge, right? Legendaries, it gives you 20 intelligence, epics 15, rares 10, epic, or I believe 7 for uncommons, and 5 or 3 for commons. Which, if I were to do that, I'd have base 600 mana, and if I were to have, say, a sheep pet with a textbook, that could get me to 1,000 mana. And if I had this on, Wise, that could get me over 1,500 mana without alchemy or enchanting 50. And without having to even pay that much, it's just reforges. You are sacrificing a lot of damage when you do that, but if you're playing Mage Kit, you already have Superior, Elegant Tuxedo, Frozen Blaze, so damage is not really much of a problem. You just need mana to do a lot of damage, because the more mana you have, the more damage you do, which brings me to the next thing. Because if, say, okay, look, I have 185 mana, or 160 mana, right? If we go to here, so this is an ability, and its base is 700 damage, but because I have 160 mana, it does 1,490, right? So if I were to put on a Bat Pet, that gives me 48 intelligence, this would go up, right? So that's why it's really good right now, and especially the Frozen Scythe, because this is the best for damage, just straight up damage with the regular sword, is definitely what I have here. But if you're looking for damage for dungeons, like the Mage Kit, you want to go to here, to mining, and right, so it's 64. It's very expensive right now, because ice prices have skyrocketed because of the magic damage, because of the Frozen Scythe. Because of how much damage it does. You can do, if you're fully optimized, you can do upwards of 600,000 damage for the cost of 50 mana, which is ridiculous. And if you have an Ink Wand, you're doing like nearly 3 million. That's how much damage I did on my other profile, which is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, and another thing, sorry about that, is all these talismans, and how to get some of these talismans really easily. So, if you've watched any of my other videos, and you followed one of the tutorials, that's 15 million coins every 5 days. Let's say you have 15 million coins, okay? It's very average. I only have 9 right now, because I just spent a lot of it on some items. But, so you come here, right? Just come to the Talis, go here, accessories, lowest price on bin, go to legendary, buy Bad Artifact. This one's 2 million coins, but if you go to auctions, you can pick one up for literally $1 mil max, right? Or let's say, for example, right, there are a lot of talismans right now that are very cheap for various reasons, like experience artifact 500, background 500k, candy artifact 500k, right? Those are rare. Those are epic talismans, rare talismans. You can pick up like 6, 7, 8, 9, even rare talismans for literally 2, 3 million coins. And then the uncommon talismans are even easier to get, right? And there's a few more things. Is the so what reforges to go for depending on where you are in the game. If you're mid game, go for forceful and epic, and forceful on legendaries, and then itchy on everything else. If you're late game, you probably already know, like late game as in superior, you should really go for the mage build, because at this point you probably have 50, 60 million coins, minimum of 30, and you're getting ready for dungeons, so you want to have Bazaar on all your talismans, right? If you're early game, which most of you watching probably are, you don't want strength, you just want crit damage. You want crit damage, and crit chance, right? Crit chance is really not an option at this point for talismans, it's not worth it. But crit chance on armor reforges, what you want is fierce or pure, whichever one you get first. Because they're just as good, essentially. They're the same almost. Right? But, right. So, that's really good. And if you're early game, the reforge that you want on all your talismans is not forceful. Oh, wait, what is this here? You don't want forceful, you want strong, I believe it is. Because strong gives you, I think, on a legendary, like 10 crit damage and 10 strength, which actually isn't better than 15 strength. But before you go, why don't I just get forceful from early game? Because strength really only helps you if you have 100 plus of it, which if you're early game, you probably don't have a very high fortune level. When I say very high, I mean 25 plus, because that's when it's worth getting forceful, which is what I have. So, then you have, like, I have base, quite a bit of strength, 284 strength, which is actually pretty good, right? But if you're early game, you don't want strength, you just want, like, 50 strength max, and then you want to use everything on crit damage, right? But Itchy's only gonna give you 10, so if you're gonna get, but if you go on forceful, you're still getting 10, and you're getting some strength, which is nice. Right, so, and then there's still a couple more things. So reforges for armor and weapons. Right, so currently, before any buffs or nerfs, fierce is the best. Pure is usable, but get fierce. Use pure at your own will, because it's really not even that much worse, but it is worse. And then swords. Currently, Fabled is the best, but it costs like 3 million coins and then 1 million to apply, so it's almost 5 mil right now if you're using the auction house. It's a minimum 4 mil if you're, doing dragons for it. So, or 5 mil, sorry. So, the reforge you just from the regular blacksmith on your sword is legendary for early game or mid game. Depends on your crit chance, really. Because this gives you tons of crit chance. 28 crit chance, or not 28, sorry, 15 crit chance. That's kind of nuts. And it still gives you 28 crit damage, which is almost as much as spicy, right? And then sharp, that gives you slightly more crit chance, but it only gives you, I believe, 25 crit damage, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it actually is. And legendary also gives you tons of attack speed and intelligence, which is actually really nice. Or not tons, but like if you were to have a Reaper Falchion, say, that already gives you 200, and then if you were to have legendary, you were getting 225 intelligence from holding a weapon, which is kind of busted right now. So, and then if you're at late game, or not late game, sorry, mid game, what you want on your sword is it doesn't really, you want Fable for mid game. When I say mid game, I mean like late mid game, which sounds weird, but like you have 20 plus mil, and you can make that much money in a few days without having to like try really hard and play like 12 hours, basically. So if you're at that point in the game, you want Fabled and everything else, and then these Reforges here, and you want Fabled on your sword, because Fabled is actually pretty good, but it's expensive, and at that point, if you have that much money, it's worth buying. So yeah, and I'm gonna leave.